Believe it or not, some of these terrifying beasts were so real that they made ancient civilizations shake in their boots. These mythological creatures were not just stories, but were often viewed as real threats to ancient societies. Whether protecting sacred lands, punishing sinners, or simply satisfying their own monstrous appetites, these creatures were forces of nature that one did not wish to encounter. 1. The Wendigo, Algonquin mythology. The Wendigo is a horrifying creature rooted in the lore of the Algonquin-speaking tribes of North America. This monstrous spirit is said to be created when a person succumbs to cannibalism in the winter months. Legends describe it as a gaunt, emaciated figure, often with yellowing, rotten skin stretched tightly over its bones. The Wendigo's hunger is insatiable, driving it to consume human flesh, though it's said that its appetite is never truly satisfied. The Wendigo is more than just a beast. It represents the dangers of greed and unchecked hunger, warning societies of the moral consequences of indulgence and survival at any cost. 2. The Chimera, Greek mythology. The Chimera, a fire-breathing monster from Greek mythology, terrified ancient Greeks with its unnatural combination of lion, goat, and serpent features. The Chimera was a symbol of chaos and instability, an abomination that could not be reasoned with or controlled. It was said to ravage the land, laying waste to entire villages and devouring those unfortunate enough to cross its path. The ancient Greeks saw it as a monstrous hybrid that defied the natural order, a being that threatened the balance and harmony they held dear. 3. The Dagger, Norse mythology. Norse legends speak of the Dagger, an undead creature with incredible strength and a deep-seated hatred for the living. These revenants would rise from their graves to protect their treasures or seek revenge on those who wronged them. Descriptions of the Dagger are chilling. They're often depicted as decayed, bloated corpses with the ability to grow in size at will. To ancient Norse societies, the Dagger was a reminder of the importance of honoring the dead and respecting burial customs, lest one incur the wrath of the undead. 4. The Rakshasa, Hindu mythology. In Hindu mythology, Rakshasas are demon-like beings with the power to shapeshift and cast powerful illusions, often depicted with terrifying exaggerated features, such as sharp fangs, clawed fingers, and multiple arms. They were considered to be the physical embodiment of evil. Known for their cunning and thirst for flesh, Rakshasas would often hide in forests and ambush travelers. Ancient Hindu societies saw them as malevolent beings that could possess or curse individuals, representing the constant battle between light and darkness in the world. 5. The Banshee, Celtic mythology. In Celtic mythology, the Banshee is a harbinger of death, appearing as a spectral woman with a piercing scream that can chill the bravest soul. Her wail is said to foretell the imminent death of a family member, and those who hear her cries are often filled with dread. The Banshee is depicted as an old, frail woman with long, flowing hair and a mournful expression. To the ancient Celts, she was a symbol of the inevitable and the sorrow that accompanies loss, reminding people of mortality and the importance of family bonds. 6. The Aswang, Filipino mythology. In Filipino mythology, the Aswang is a terrifying, shape-shifting creature known to feast on human flesh and drink blood. It is often described as a vampire-like being with the ability to transform into animals to stalk its prey. The Aswang was believed to particularly target pregnant women and young children, making it a source of great fear in Filipino villages. People would take measures to protect themselves, like placing garlic and salt around their homes. For Filipinos, the Aswang represented the primal fear of loss and the unknown horrors that lurked in the dark. 7. The Jorogumo, Japanese mythology. The Jorogumo is a creature from Japanese folklore known as the Binding Bride. This creature is said to appear as a beautiful woman who seduces unsuspecting men, only to transform into a giant spider to devour them. The Jorogumo represents the fear of betrayal and the dangers of falling for illusions. In ancient Japan, this creature warned of the risks of misplaced trust and the duality of appearances, showing that even the most alluring individuals could have dark intentions lurking beneath. 8. The Knuckle, Scottish mythology. One of the most feared creatures in Scottish folklore, the Knuckle is a horrific sea-dwelling monster with no skin, exposing its muscle and sinew. It appears as a grotesque fusion of man and horse, with a rider seemingly fused to the horse's back. Known to bring disease and death to those it encounters, it was believed to cause crop failures, droughts, and plagues. Ancient Scots dreaded the Knuckle, especially in the winter months when it was most active, as a reminder of nature's wrath and the precariousness of human life in the face of environmental forces. 9. The Stiga, Slavic mythology. The Stiga is a Slavic monster that embodies the fear of the restless dead. This vampiric creature is believed to be a person born with two souls, allowing it to return from the dead with a thirst for human blood. Stiga would drain the life from anyone it encountered, spreading sickness and misfortune in villages. To the ancient Slavs, the Stiga symbolized the fear of what happens after death, particularly for those who led sinful lives or were cast out from society. It was also a grim reminder of how the living could suffer from the unresolved spirits of the dead. 10. The Yowie, Aboriginal Australian mythology. The Yowie is a creature from Aboriginal Australian mythology, often described as a giant, ape-like figure similar to Bigfoot. Legends say it lurks in the wilderness, watching humans and sometimes snatching those who wander too close. Unlike many of the other creatures on this list, the Yowie was not necessarily evil, but its sheer size and strength were enough to invoke fear. To the Aboriginal Australians, the Yowie was a symbol of nature's mysteries and dangers, a warning to respect the wild and avoid overstepping boundaries in the natural world. These mythological creatures haunted the minds of ancient societies, embodying humanity's deepest fears. Whether as warnings against immoral behavior, reminders of nature's power, or symbols of the unknown, each creature had a purpose beyond fear. They taught valuable lessons and helped societies grapple with the complexities of life and death, morality, and the mysteries that lie just beyond human understanding. In a way, these terrifying beings weren't just monsters. They were mirrors reflecting the anxieties, values, and fears of the people who believed in them.